Hey everyone, Paul ISM. Welcome to another inbox review. Today we've got an inbox review of the Rifle Models 135th, let me get this right, M5551 A1 Sheridan. We got this in stock at UMP Retail a while back. I love the look of it and thought I've got to get one. It's such a cool looking piece of armour, great looking little vehicle. And I thought, yeah, I need to have one to the stash. I've got a few armour kits still in the stash. I am getting the itch to build another one, so hopefully we'll see this built at some point, maybe soon, we'll see. We've got 3 of them in stock at UMP. They are £46.99, so you can go over there and get one should you like to look at this review. I did quite a very quick look in the box. It looks like Rifield's typical standard of kit, which is usually very good. And like I say, what a cool looking little piece of armour it is. So let's go and have a look and see what we get in the box. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. So I bought this kit a while back when it first came out. So I think it was near enough when it first came out. And I bought it for 2 reasons really. Number 1, it's a Rifle Models kit, which you're pretty safe with. And number 2, for the subject. I just think this is a really cool little bit of armour. The Sheridan, great looking little vehicle, and comes in a couple of really good schemes as well. Get the desertized one and the camo one as well, which we'll look at in a little bit. So bear with me, I don't know much about this thing, but I'm going to review the kit, not the actual subject. So if I don't know what it is, bear with me. That seems to be the part of the course most of the time of my reviews. But we'll look at the quality of the kit, see what it's like, and then I've got an itch for an armour build, so hopefully we'll see this pretty soon. Hopefully this year at some point. So, lovely box art on the front. I do like Rifield's box art. Always looks quite good. Obviously just the basic info on the front of the kit. On the side you've got some CAD drawings showing different options for different launchers and other things on the vehicle itself. Same on top as well, different placements, and showing the photo etch part 2. And on the other side you've got the tritone camo scheme, which looks very cool, and then the desertized one. Which one would I do? I don't know. I really like the camo, but I do like the desertized as well because it weathers up really well. So it probably will be that one, to be honest. So let's have a look in the box. So pretty standard size box, not too big. There's no interior on this, so it's not too overwhelming to do. Just going to get these parts out and pop them to one side. So we've got quite a substantial instruction book. We've got the upper hull, lots and lots of parts in there. So I'm just going to pop all of those over here like so. Right then, so we'll start with the upper hull. Let's have a look. So let's see what we've got. So a little bit of surface detail, nothing too much. It's nice and flat, it's not warped at all, which is really good. Always a good sign to see. Sits on my cut mat near enough perfect, probably a millimetre off. We've got the sprue cross brace in there for a bit of strength, obviously to save this part from being broke. But there's a bit of surface detail. What there should be, I don't know. We got all the rivet head detail, bolt head detail along the sides. Across the top, you've got some anti-slip texture here and there as well. You can see it just there and there. So not too bad at all. And again, surface looks good. Everything's nice and crisp. Everything's in good detail. Very sharp detail there actually. So very crisp. The anti-texture is really good. Not too big. Looks absolutely spot on. Sorry about my hands. I spilled texture paint all over myself earlier. So do bear with me. I'm not scruffy. I've just got paint on me for modelling. So yeah, upper hull, plenty of detail there. Obviously you can add detail from the kit. What quite is on there, I don't know. But we'll see as we go through. I'm going to pop that back in there for safekeeping. Put it down the back. I'm just going to grab the sprues as we go through. So on this one, we have tools. So we've got our spade, shovel, axe. We've got some hatch, look like levers. All sorts of stuff on here. We've got the mantler with some nice texture on the top as well. Some grills, loads of little bits on there. Quite what they are, I do not know. We've got some headlight protectors here. There's a bit of flash on those, as you can see there, but it's just wisps of flash that will just literally rub off. But there is some flash here and there, to be fair. But I run over with a sander, and you're going to have to sand every part, every kit. Every single part's going to have a seam on the edge. You're going to have to run your sander over everything, unless you don't do that. But for me, I like to clean all the parts up. So everything's going to need cleaning up anyway, so it's no extra chore. It's just something to bear in mind. So again, nice and crisp. The 50 cal looks good. We've got some rounds there built into the ammo case, which are quite nicely detailed as well, as you can see. And over here too. 50 cal doesn't look too bad at the top. I don't know what we've got down here. Is that an M229? Is it 229? Can't really tell. Hard to see, but you can see the mantlet there as well, with the texture on it, which again looks pretty decent. And again, like I say, apart from a few wisps of flash here and there, everything is real crisp. All the raised and recessed surface detail is very, very good. So cleanup's not going to be too difficult. Some of the sprue locator points probably could have been slightly better places, but it's just the way it's got to be sometimes to get the clean mold. But overall, that's not going to give any issues there at all. It's not a massively high part count kit, so definitely not one to be too intimidated by. I think it'd be a fairly quick, straightforward build, which is kind of why I'm picking it as my next possible build. In here now, we've got loads of, let's have a look. I'm going to guess it's stowage, holders. There's all sorts in it. I'm not even going to pretend to know what half of it is. More importantly, though, it's nicely molded, and that is what I'm here to look at. So again, we've got a few wisps of flash in places, but it's all going to clean up. Some of the plastic does look a little bit soft, but the detail is really good. It's quite hard to explain that. It really is. The detail is as crisp as anything. It's really nice. Like, you look at this part here, which is obviously a box lid. You've got the hinges and the handle all inbuilt there. Looking good. My camera's behaving today as well, which is really nice to see. Then we've got an antenna here as well. Lots of small little components. I take you all around. Have a little look. So again, the moulding's really nice. Like I say, it looks a bit soft in places, but the detail's good. It's hard to explain what I mean by that. The plastic, it's like a funny texture on the plastic. But where there is actual detail, it is really good. Like I say, a few wisps of flash here and there, but nothing that isn't going to have to be cleaned up on any kit, and that isn't going to take any time at all to do. It really isn't. Right, we're a larger sprue now. So most of these are singular sprues, bar, I think it's the last one, is a double. So on here, we've got the lower part of the hull, the side of the hull, all the main components here of the hull itself. Again, we've got some nice anti-slip texture there as well. Nice seat with nice imprint in it. Again, nice crisp detail. Really is nice and crisp. I hold it up for you to have a look. You'll see what I mean. Very nice. Lots of detail there as well. The handles are all built in. They look really good. All the buckles or straps, clasps, whatever you want to call them, along the side are all nicely detailed. And the great thing about this, all this will take a wash. So if it's crisp, it's going to show up so much better, and you're going to accentuate it with the wash as well. So It's important the details like this are there and that they are deep enough and crisp enough to hold the wash, because that's what brings kits like this alive. You can do them out the box like a brand new vehicle, but they're never completely clean. Even brand new, they're going to have grime on them. And even brand new, putting a wash into all these little parts and cleaning it off as much as you can will still add a lot of detail. So parts like this, for all these little details, all these little raised and recessed surface areas, it adds a lot of realism to the kit. So again, no issues there at all. Very, very nicely done. According to this, it's a 2018 kit. And yeah, I probably got about 2019, I think. So it must have been out a while before I got it, but I thought it was pretty new. I know it was new in stock with us at UMP. We've got 3 of these currently in stock at the minute. At £46.99. So we're going over and have a look, which is about right for a Sheridan kit. So we've got the lower part of the turret, upper part of the turret. We've got the gun barrel itself, all moulded in 2 halves. So you're going to have to assemble all that and fill and sand the seam. Again, lots of components, all crisply moulded. Very, very nice. Again, we've got some nice cast texture on some of the parts. We've got nice raised detail all over these parts. There's a jerry can. Again, lovely detail all over it. Got lots of clasps, handles. All sorts of stuff. I'll zoom in and then bring you along to have a little look. I'll try and go around all the parts if I can. I'll just scroll on by slowly. There's some nice detail on parts like this here. Really nice raised detail. Nice cast texture over there as well. Really nice. And again, nice and crisp. In this typical tan plastic. There's our gun barrel itself. Like I say, all moulded in halves. So you have to assemble it all, glue it all, probably give it a bit of a clamp, sand it. You might get away with just that. You may need a spot of filler in there. But again, overall, looks spot on to me. Looks really nice, really crisp. Very nice. So I reviewed the Rifle Challenger a while back when that first came out. We built that, and that was a wonderful kit to build. Really nice. So I'm hoping this will be the same as well. So we've got 2 identical sprues. I'm going to get rid of 1. So on here we've got the road wheels. We've got our tracks, which are link and length. So link and length is sections, and then all these will be around the drive sprocket in the return, the idler wheel. So a little bit of work there. The best way of working with these is use Tammy Extra Thin or the Revel cement in the blue tub with the needle on it. Use your sprocket. Which I actually haven't seen yet. Have we seen the sprocket? I don't even remember seeing the sprocket. Okay, is it on here? Yeah, I'm being absolutely stupid. It's right there. You moron, Paul. Aren't you? So, yeah, assemble all your wheels, get them all on the tank, and then use the wheels to mark out the template for these. Use Tammy Extra Thin off the tank. Use your link and length piece where they're required, and then build these up and use the wheels and everything else to form the shape. Don't get any glue between them, and then at the end you can take off all your wheels, pull them all off slowly, and then take your tracks off as one piece with a gap in the top so you can open it. If you don't understand, I'll show it when I build it. They're a tricky way to do, but that way you can get it back off to paint them, weather them, and then pop them back on with one single dab of glue. They're all on. Easy to do. Lots and lots of small little fiddly parts on here. And there's 2 of these sprues. This is going to be quite a bit of work and a bit of cleanup. But there are some lovely moulded parts there, as you can see. Going through, so there's our individual links. And there's our link and length bit. So these will sit on the bottom, one on the top, so on and so forth. And then more individual links here as well. So just follow instructions. It'll all become pretty clear and apparent as you go through. But like I say, you can assemble it and put the tracks on and try and paint it all together. That can be quite tricky to do. So I like to do the trick of the link and length, glue it like I explained, and leave a link open. and then you can pull it off the road wheels, hold it as a near complete length of track assembled, paint it all, weather it, and then chuck it back on. So yeah, no problem there. The road wheels are good. They're going to hold a nice wash, bit of weathering, bit of dust on them, bit of mud here and there. They're going to look really good. So 2 of those, don't forget. So quite a lot of work to do there. Quite a bit of cleanup, but that's the way things are with armour. Now there's a spring here. I'm going to guess this is for the gun. I'm assuming it's got some sort of recoiling mechanism in it, which is a little bit gimmicky. I assume that's what it's for. We'll find out in a minute. We've got some rubberized plastic here. I'm not going to take it out. What they're quite for, I don't know. They hoses. Polycaps? Are they polycaps? No, it can't be. No, can't be. We'll have a look in a minute. We'll go through the instructions. Have a look. Sprue F, we'll remember. We've got all the clear parts, the cupola ring, periscopes, vision ports, all sorts in there. And again, the glass. Yeah, it's not bad. It's certainly adequate for a tank. Whether it's going to need tinting, not the Adventurer. We don't need snowy. I mean, tinting is a different matter. I don't know. I'd have to look at references to the real piece of armour. But that cupola ring is lovely. Very nice piece of moulded plastic. And again, the rest of it, perfectly adequate for a piece of armour. And it's clear parts. I'm just going to pop this back in its bag, so we get it nice and safe. So like I say, fancy doing an armour review. This kit's been in the stash for a while. It's always caught my eyes and interesting looking, not only kit, but piece of armour. So I thought, right then, let's give it a review. So we've now got a nice couple of decal sheets. We can open it up, and a nice PE fret as well. So we get all this out together, or get the cardboard out and leave everything else in there. There we go. So decals, printed in China. Okay, so the Rifle Models logo is very high gloss, if you can see that. The rest of the decal is very satin. Now, the decals do feel a little bit thick, but I don't think they're going to give you any issues. Once you get them on, get them set in place with some UMP strong or wherever they're going to need to set them. Weather it up, they're going to look great. So some nice interesting schemes there. And then you've got your chevron markings here as well. And again, actually they're a bit more matte. No, they're about the same actually. I'd say they were more of a matte than a satin, to be honest. There's no sheen on those whatsoever. So hopefully they shouldn't give us any issues. And then the PE, very, very fine PE. Really, really nice photo etch, to be honest. Very nice mesh grills with all different textures in it. You can see this one at the top here. Really, really nice. Nice texture all the way around there. We've got some plates, lots of small little parts as well. So they're going to be tricky to get in place, but follow the instructions, take your time, be nice and careful, and it shouldn't give you any issues at all. But always nice to get PE, especially for meshes and that. If you buy the likes of Tamiya kits, quite often they come with the mesh material like you get in the car kits. And while it looks alright, it doesn't necessarily look the best. So it is nice to kind of, well, get that in there with the kit. And I know it's not the cheapest kit in the world, but this is the kind of thing you're paying for. You're paying for a well-equipped kit with a nice bit of photo etch. If you was to buy that aftermarket, it would cost you about £10. Decals look good, and the rest of the kit, touch wood, we'll find some, there we go, should go together just fine. Now the instructions, quite a meaty instruction book. I've got an amendment sheet as well. So there you go, that's kind of showing how I said to do the track. So you put your bottom on, top on, get all your road wheels on, the return roller, all your idlers, ignore my compressor, get your sprockets on there, get these on top, build these as a section using Tamiya Extra Thin or the Revel glue, and assemble it flat on the bench, leave it for 5 minutes, it'll still be movable because the glue will stay soft for a while, and then you can offer it up, bend it round, and if it was me, I'd glue it to the top there and leave this separate here. And on the back one, I'd probably glue that one on. That way you can separate it to get it. Actually, you're probably better leaving it at the top there, thinking about it. Leave the top unglued, and you can separate them from the sprocket, and the rest of it should come off in one piece. And that way you're left with the whole track built as a section. You can prime it, paint it, weather it, and then pop it on the tank when you're done, rather than trying to paint it. That's the way I know it. This is for step 54 on page 34. So when we get to that, we'll see what the difference is. Again, we've got the really nice box art picture printed on the front of the instructions. We've got assembly icons, optional cement, do not cement, instant cement, bend, make two, open hole, remove, be careful, and apply decal. And then some cautions there about, you know, not building this while you're microwaving a spoon or something daft, I don't know. Sprue layout there. Very important little tip for any kit you buy. Go through the box and make sure every sprue is in there. No matter where you buy it from, no matter how new the kit is, whatever, go through every box, because there was a spate of the Ryefield Challengers being missing upper sprues. We had a couple at UMP, not many, but I still see to this day people coming to build the Challenger and realising their upper sprues built. They bought it from God knows where, God knows how long ago, and they're completely out of luck. So they've got to go and try and get in touch with Ryefield, which when you're trying to get a hold of these Far East companies isn't the easiest sometimes. So every kit I get, I go through and I get the sprue layout, or if the Tamiya kit, I go on the back, look at the part layout, and I tick off every sprue. I've just gone through this before we started. Everything is there. And God, I don't remember seeing that. Yeah, I'm only joking. It is there. That's the PE. So that's a little tip from me. Go through every kit, especially if it's secondhand. Make sure every sprue is in there. But I do it with new kits as well. I'll go through and just double check everything is there. Right, assembly. For some reason, I'm starting on the 50 cal. Bit random. The gun turret and what have you. That's quite an unusual place to start. I'm not going to lie. And then we're building the turret, the cupola. Wow, this is really random to start in this position. Anyway, instructions are nice and clear. They're well laid out. You've got like a coloured CAD drawing here, I suppose, and an exploded diagram in the way that they attach and any fitment points that they've got, how they go in. Obviously, you've got to pay attention. You've got clear parts, how they're going to be painted, and so on and so forth. And you have to keep an eye out for your photo etch callouts as well. So, yes, what a very illogical place to start. Okay. But anyway, we're moving on. We've got the cupola turret, what's the hatch? Hatches is the word I'm looking for. And so on, onto the gun itself. Spring goes in the gun, so it's got a gimmicky recoil mechanism on it. And again, we're onto the upper turret again. Totally counterintuitive. For me, well, the first step normally in armor kits are wheels, and I normally skip that and go straight for the hull. So quite weird to start here. And we definitely won't be starting here. Onto the jerry can, bit of PE on there as well. So the PE is colorized, so you can see it. And again, different options to use, only if you're using the searchlight. So pay attention, stick to the one you're going to build, the variant, and stay with it. Parts that don't need gluing. And so on. Hang on, let me just see that bit. What the hell? We got like a mirror image here. Am I going crazy? Use only for A1. So this must be for a different variant. Okay, it's called in green. Different variants. Okay. Again, you have to pay attention even more because this is a whole different page for a whole different variant. And another page. So if it goes green, you're moving on to elsewhere. Again, we're on the upper turret still. Getting all this built up. We've got searchlight, is it? Which will be those parts I was showing the handles on earlier. The grill in place, you're going to do some careful bending on that photo etch at the top. And then we're on to the upper hull. So it was me, I'd start here. This is where I'd start, step 34. It's exactly where I'd start. we're not there yet on the amendment. Again, get parts on, get the tools in place. So to be fair, from what I've seen so far, assembly looks pretty easy and straightforward. Nothing too complicated. With armour, there's a couple of points that are normally a bit stressful. Getting the upper hull to the lower hull. If you have any fit issues, it'll quite often be there. If anyone's built dragon kits in the past, you'll know what I mean. But at least these aren't like dragon armour kits instructions. Whereas you go to page 24 and it says put B42 on, so you glue it in place, and then you go to page 27 and it says do not use B2. You've already glued it in place. Or parts just magically appear on the instruction sheet. No reference to what they are or how they're orientated. They just appear on the model and you go try and figure it out yourself. So these aren't bad instructions at all. You just got to pay attention, get used to all the icons, get used to the photo etch callouts, get used to the different variants that are in there, which we're going to see probably at the end. So it's not a complex build at all. And again, we switch over. The A1 version does this. You're going to have to be really careful if you're doing this A1 because you've already done all these steps before you get to this bit. Tell you which one to do. So make sure you pay attention. Maybe we're going through with a highlight or a marker and putting a note at the beginning of this part of the assembly over there that we're not doing this. We're going straight to page 27. Otherwise you'll be trying to pry part off. Just wonder what the actual differences are. Is it just this page? Yeah, it is. It's just this page. It's not too difficult. So that's all the same. That's the same. There's no PE on there. Okay. So there are subtle differences. Nothing too bad. To be honest, not much that would warrant. Oh no, this is all different as well. So there are some subtle differences there, so make sure you pay attention. Away you go. By the look of it, there's only 2 pages that are different, unless there's more on the back, or there's another one. Yeah, so instructions look good. Like I said, they're a bit confusing. I think once you get your head around it, it'll start looking a bit more straightforward. But here we go, there's another amended sheet here. Well, not amended, but extra sheet for the A1 version. So one's the desertized, one's the tritone. So there's obviously a difference between the desertized version of the kit. You've got drill holes to drill, loads of little components to pop on. Track assembly. So yeah, whichever way you go about that. I've not seen what parts did I say these were. Let's have a look. F, part F. Look for F's, people. We're looking for F. It's got to be on the upper. I'm looking for those round bits, to be honest. This cylindrical F. They are. They're in the sprockets. I thought they were polycaps. So the sprocket turns, but the row wheels won't. Is that right? Looks that way. Okay, what's the point in that then? It's a bit silly. Anyway, so F, yeah, they're polycaps there. Right, so we've got the version there, which is probably one I'll do, and then this one. I'm going to look through what we got. Which one's which? So both M5551 A1 TTS Sheridan. Yep, no idea which one's which. Okay, that's going to need figuring out then. Now, it does say to use MIG products. Don't use MIG products because they rip off people's sanders, like ours. Allegedly. That's what I've been told anyway. So, yeah, we won't be using anything MIG. So, yeah, we'll hide that. That ain't being used. And we're definitely using these MIG products down here because we've got washes and pigments that are much, much better quality at UMP. So you can head over there instead. Colour callouts there are MIG paints, which we're not going to use because the MIG acrylics are awful. We'll be using AK lacquers on it. Those MIG paints, even before I didn't like MIG before I did with our sanders, and I'm getting a little bit, political here now. Those paints are terrible, awful to use. I am going to be interested to see which version is which, because they're both labelled as the exact same version, which is the A1. So, which one is which? Okay, so there's an M551 A1 TTS and an A1 TTS. Yeah, okay. I have no idea what the difference is, but we'll figure it out when we come to build it anyway. There's obviously a subtle difference in them both. What it is, I don't know. But the kit, what do we think of kit? Well, let's go back to me and have a little chat. Right then, so what do we think? Well, I've said through the review that it looks soft. I don't think it is soft detail because the detail's crisp. It's hard to explain what I mean. I think what I'm referring to is the plastic looks soft. I think it's just the plastic that Ryefield used, maybe the colour of it. It just doesn't look as crisp as it should, but all the raised detail and recessed detail is very, very sharp and crisp. So it's a bit of a weird one. I don't think I can quite get across what I'm saying there. I think it's just the colour of the plastic that they've used. We were discussing this the other day, how the colour of a kit can change how it looks. I've got some car kits moulded in red and the exact same in white, and the white looks so much better. So I think it's just the colour of the sprue sometimes can make it look a bit odd, but the surface detail looks fantastic on it. If it's up to Ryefield's usual standards, it should go together with no issues at all. If you remember a while back, we did the Ryefield Challenger, and that was a great kit to build, really enjoyable. And like I say, I'm getting the itch to build this, so hopefully at some point soon we'll get this done. Will I build it out of the box? Well, we've got exposed tracks, so I don't know if there's any frills or white metals out there, although I don't think frills going anymore, are they? Maybe we'll try and use the Lincoln lengths. Don't know. We'll decide about that more at the time, but there's everything in there to build a decent model. You've got your Lincoln length tracks, which are better than Indie Links sometimes, depending on how you look at it. We've got photo etch in there, we've got a good decal set, very clear instructions. Apart from where it mentions building the A1 variant, because they're both A1s, apparently, according to the instructions. That's an M551A1, and you got an M551A1 TTS. But it doesn't distinguish the TTS, it just says A1. So I can't quite see which is. I'm going to guess the TTS is the desertized version, because they normally need more modifications to get them on the battlefield. I don't know. If you know in the chat, let me know. I'll research it more when I come to it. But I'm assuming where it's designating A1, I assume it means a TTS. I don't know. That's the only unclear part of those instructions. The rest of it, they look really, really good. So overall, it looks a good kit. $47.99, about right for a modern day armour kit. They're not cheap anymore. If you get one with a full interior, you're paying a lot more money. But you pay for what you get. You get a modern day moulding of modern day kits to a very, very high standard. So is it worth the money? I think so. I think it's a very nice looking kit. I think it's a great looking bit of armour. And I'm really looking forward to building it at some point. I will do the desertized version, I think. Only because I like the way they can weather up. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll see that on the channel in the near future. If you've got the kit or you've built it, post away in the comments down below. Or if you've got other Ryefields and you've built them, let me know what you think. I think generally they've got a good reputation. So hopefully this won't give us any trouble at all. If you'd like to support the future content, there's a Patreon link in the description down below and a PayPal me link as well. Any support is greatly appreciated and received, and it really does help to go towards creating content for the channel. Check out umpretail.com. Like I said, we've got 3 of these in stock, £47.99, so grab them while you can. Check out ISM Facebook page and forum, my Paul ISM Facebook page for all my personal model work, Live the Bench page, Off Air Hangout group, and the ISM GB group as well. And of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button, the notification buttons to get notified of all the latest videos, and please leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment left behind. It does spur me on with the videos, and as you can see, I've tried to up the content a lot more lately because, well, it's what I'm getting paid to do now, basically. So I'm more than happy to put the time into this, knowing that people appreciate it. And like I say, all the support received is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you all very much. Hope you enjoyed the review today. Is there anything you'd like to see reviewed? I'll put a link to my scale mates in the description. I've made my list publicly viewable now as well. So if there's anything you'd like to see, I might even, if I remember, I'll flash a picture of my stash. I actually managed to get a picture of all my stash together on thumbnails. If there's anything you'd like to see reviewed, please let me know. Please make sure I own it. It will help massively, because I'm just buying kits to review. It's a pain. Post away in the comments down below. Drop me a message. You can email me. There's an email in the description as well. And thank you very much for watching today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.